Hey everybody, welcome back to Be Better on Purpose with Dr. Darryl L. Jones. Thank you so much for tuning in to Be Better on Purpose with Dr. Darryl L. Jones. I'm so excited and delighted, and I'm so glad to be here with you today to share this video. Today's video is there's a purpose for our joy. You may notice that I'm wearing this black t-shirt that says, "Choose Joy with Tisa." What you may or may not know is Tisa is my wife, and she has a podcast on joy where she gives daily prayers starting around 9 o'clock a.m. every morning Eastern Standard Time, where she prays for all of us and she shares positive and motivating prayers that are encouraging us to all be joyful, and we all must choose this joy. The Bible in Nehemiah 8 and 10 in that B clause said, "The joy of the Lord is our strength." A lot of times we don't realize or see joy as being a muscle or being strength. You know, when we think of strength, we think of Samson, we think of Goliath and all these big brute type of people, but joy is our strength. And as a matter of fact, the joy of the Lord is our strength. Can you remember the last time you felt joy? I'm talking about a time that you felt joy all throughout your body, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. That kind of joy. We live in a fast-paced environment that oftentimes we don't get a chance to reflect on the joys of life. We don't know sometimes if we are going or coming, and to just sit back and relax and think about joy is one of the last things that many of us have opportunity to do. That's why I'm amazed at this time that we are living in right now. Many of us have had time to reflect on things that we never even considered. And today, I want us to consider our joy. How many of you know that we have an enemy? And one of the things our enemy really wants from us is to steal our joy. The enemy is good at his job, so that means we must be even better at our job. You know, most of y'all know I love the game of football, more so watching it. I don't play it, but I'll watch it. And you know, even when I did play it in my younger life, most of the time when I played football, one of the positions I really enjoyed playing was either wide receiver or running back or quarterbacks. You know what I didn't like playing? On the line, on the offensive line in particular. Because the offensive line job is to block and to protect. And usually those are the bigger, stronger guys. Usually the smaller, quicker, swifter guys play running back, receiver, and quarterback. But do you know, if the enemy job is to steal our joy, we must be able to block the enemy and protect our joy so it cannot be stolen. There are times in our life that we even lose access to our joy. And when we lose access to our joy, we don't know if we gave it away or if it was stolen from us by something that happened in our lives, the lives of those who we love. But there are times in our life that we lose access to our joy. I'm not telling you something that I heard from somebody or that I've read somewhere. I'm telling you something that I've experienced in my own life. There are times in my life where I didn't feel joyful. And it wasn't the fact that God did something to me. God was unable to remind me of the goodness of the Lord. But I, through life situations, lost sight of the big picture of my life and in my life. And that was the joy of the Lord is my strength. So the question I have is, why is joy so important? Why does joy matter? I will tell you why joy matters. Joy matters because there are 4 emotions that try to control our life. We have fear, anger, sadness, and joy. And do you know out of those 4 emotions, only one of them are considered positive, and that's joy? So that just makes sense to me. If I have 4 selections and only one is positive, I would want that positive one to be the one that controls my life every day. And I know it sounds easy to choose, but choosing is not the end of it. You choose it, but there are some things that come with the choice, because they will always be at battle with each other trying to control your daily life. So in addition to choosing joy, we must keep our minds focused on joy. We must feed that joy so joy can get strong. We must exercise that muscle called joy so it might be strong to battle against those other 3. Growing up, I watched wrestling, and they used to have this thing called the Battle Royal. And that's when they put a lot of different wrestlers in the ring, and only one could survive. So I get this picture that there's a battle royal going on. There's fear, anger, sadness, and joy. And I'm putting all of my hope and all of my trust on joy. That's who I'm cheering for, and that's who I'm encouraging. And I want you to do the same by choosing joy, because there's a purpose for joy in our life. There are some benefits of choosing joy in our life. There are some health benefits. It lowers our cholesterol and blood sugar. It helps adrenaline flows in our body. It allows us opportunity to prevent heart attacks. It decreases our stress level. There are many benefits of having a joyful lifestyle. And having a joyful lifestyle is contagious. It spreads to other people, because oftentimes people will see it and want to know what causes it in your life and how can they have it in theirs. So if by chance you feel like you've lost access to your joy, or maybe your joy was stolen by the enemy, I want us today, right now, to reclaim our joy. Take it back. By violence, by force, by any means necessary. Reclaim the joy that you once knew. And maybe you might be one who never really knew joy. So if you never have known joy, I want you to claim it right now. One thing I can say about joy is, just like purpose, one of the things about joy is we don't find joy, we create joy. We learn our joy. Joy is a relationship that we have with our inner self. And we must treat it as though it was as precious as gold. Joy is one of the best relationships that we can be in, because you could be in a relationship with joy all by yourself. Joy is an attitude. It's an everlasting presence that you want to keep for all of your life. I want to share with you 3 practices of joy that will help you every day in your life. The first thing I want you to do is, I want you to create a joy list. I want you to write down 10 things that you are joyful about. Some of the examples of things you could be joyful about is eating apple walnut cobbler pie, a nice steak, maybe a peaceful walk through your community, or listening to some soothing music. I don't know what it is that brings you joy, but I want you to come up with a list of 10 things that brings you joy, that maybe you can remember that has brought you joy before. So create a list of things that bring you joy, and I want you to try to come up with at least 10. After you create a list of things that bring you joy, I want you to start a gratitude journal. I want you to be able to write down things that you are thankful for. I want you to show gratitude. Who did you say thank you to? Who did something out of the way that made you feel special? And maybe it wasn't even a person. Maybe it was just some thought that you had. Maybe it was something in the past, something that you would like, that if and when it is accomplished, how much graciousness and how much gratitude you will have toward it. So I want you to create a gratitude journal. So first, I want you to create a list of things that you are joyful for, and then I want you to create a gratitude journal. In this gratitude journal, you don't have to write in it every day, but maybe 2, 3 times, 4 times a week. As you think about it, just jot down the things that you're gracious for, and that's the thing I want you to add to your gratitude journal. And my third and final point for this particular joy exercise, I want you to help people. Do you know that helping others brings so much joy that a lot of times we don't even pay any attention? Do you know there's really joy when it comes to helping others, especially those who can't help themselves? So I want you to create a list of things you're joyful for. I want you to start a gratitude journal, and I want you to begin to start helping others. And I promise you, and I guarantee you, if you do those 3 things, create a list of things you're joyful for, write a gratitude journal, and help others, and I promise you, and I guarantee you, you begin to feel the joy in your life. You will know what it means when Nehemiah said that the joy of the Lord was his strength. So again, I want to invite you to tune in to Choose Joy with Tisa every morning. You can go to her website, www.choosejoywithtisa.com, or you can find her on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter at Tisa J is for Joy, or you can go to her YouTube channel, Choose Joy with Tisa. Let me also invite you to www.bebetteronpurpose.com. Invite you to my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts, Be Better on Purpose with Dr. Darryl L. Jones. Read the books Marching Toward Your Purpose, Running Toward Your Purpose, Driving Toward Your Purpose. And I promise you, once you start going toward your purpose in whichever vehicle or whichever means possible, you will find joy by learning joy. You will receive joy by creating joy. Well, until we're together again, be better on purpose with Dr. Darryl L. Jones.